All right, all right.
Mhm.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Unique Perspectives Podcast. I'm your host, Charles Dixon, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Adam Ford. How are you, sir?
What's up, fam? On a Friday evening, how's everybody doing? Good. Glad we made it to the end of another
Yeah.
week. Woo-hoo.
tell you.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers before we get started.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Happy
Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day.
Happy
Yeah.
Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to
Yeah.
my mom.
These
who's in
little
heaven.
holidays be flying around, man.
Man, do they, Joe? Do they?
Yeah.
Do they, man? So
Wow.
yeah, love on your mother real good if you got them still. Love on
I'm
them real
trying to
good.
tell you why you can,
Real
why
talk.
you can.
I know that's right, man. For real, for real.
You get a chance, please like and share. Share some love on today. Share. That'd be something. They should share.
Yeah, don't share. Share the love. Share the love.
Now,
Share.
Adam, now it's always something they coming up with. Now they trying to do some kind of outbreak on the ship with some rats.
You talking about the hantavirus? The hantavirus?
I'm like, what is going on now?
Yeah, dude, you gotta pay attention, man.
Yeah,
Pay
it's
attention to what's going
like,
on.
man, yeah.
Because you know what's funny? I remember right before COVID hit, it was like 2019 December. I was watching the news, and they
Yeah.
were talking about COVID. I think it was in a Chinese province that had kind of broken out, and nobody was really paying attention to it at the time. I think the World Health Organization was kind of looking at it, scrutinizing it, and a couple of other people were looking at it too, but nobody was really kind of paying it. But it piqued my curiosity. I was like, we don't need to be playing with this. We need to shut things down as soon as we possibly can before this thing really gets out of control. Before you knew it, it had hit, and you know, people were on planes that were traveling from that particular area to all over the world. And at that point, it's difficult to do contact tracing in terms of trying to find out where people were from, where people were going, and who had contact with them, in order to kind of like track everything down. It was, before you knew it, it completely ballooned into a worldwide pandemic. So again, just kind of be on your P's and Q's, keep your head on the swivel, pay attention to everything that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Do your research, investigate. Don't take,
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's a real thing when.
No, I'm just saying, just make sure everybody pay attention. Yeah,
yeah, and it's a real thing when you start hearing the news say that the people are contact tracing. They're letting you know it's kind of imminent and it's out. That's when you hear that, you know what's happening.
Right.
So yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Because we've already had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 deaths as a result of it. And I think the ship, it just docked today at a port. And so they're really trying to get a handle on this before, again, things get out of control. But, like I said, everybody pay close attention to what's happening,
Yeah, pay attention. Look, in other words, just stay in the house.
Look, I mean, I ain't never been opposed to that. I ain't never been opposed to that. As my wife, I ain't never been opposed to staying in the house.
You saying can't seem to go nowhere. You go somewhere, and it's like, oh God.
Right, man. Come on. Ain't nobody gonna do all that.
All right, Mr. Ford. Let's talk about what we are talking about today. Does somebody want to do the honors? Go on and get on.
Oh, you scared? You know they gonna come at you today? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go. I'm gonna read it, but you're gonna be out there. You ready?
Go ahead. Can you hear me? Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Covered. Husband's expectations. Yeah, I think there's a little delay going on right now. Y'all can hear you.
I got mine.
But I think it's a little delay on your end.
Good.
On both our ends, actually. Yeah. All right. Covered. Husband's expectations, boyfriend commitment. He's not your husband, but is he already paying like one? We're cracking open the unspoken rule that a real man should cover dates, bills, and lifestyle long before there's a ring or real commitment on the table. For those who stand on the checklist requirement of I need to feel taken care of, expecting husband level provision from a boyfriend. This one will hit you in the gut and make you rethink what you're really asking for and what it's really costing him. Help us hash this out together before we men are sent to collections. Why we got to be sent to collections? Dang, okay.
We're gonna be sold, so they're gonna sell our debt off. We're gonna be sent on out.
Oh my God,
It's
dude. Dang.
essentially saying you have a debt that you ain't paid. You're gonna get
Right.
sold off.
Well,
Wow, that's deep. But okay, let's take our time and walk through this.
mhm.
First, I want to say hey to the folks coming in, but I want to ask because like we having this show, but this is a legitimate question because I think it is a thing and it happens. It's been happening, but I kind of want to hear if any of the ladies will come out and and be bold and say something. But here's the thing: when it comes to dating, I'm gathering there's an expectation of some sort during the dating phase, right? Of how they talk about the pays, how many pays should the man do before maybe the lady say, "Oh, don't worry, I got mine, I got this one this time," right? Or whatever, something like it's kind of an unspoken kind of rule thing. So you go from there to now we are committed, we in a relationship. So this is where I want the ladies, because the dating part can be that's kind of ebbs and flows. But when when you say it's me and you, and we're gonna walk this out to see what this can do, is there an unwritten expectation that men should be open to feeling, in addition to just general benevolence, but open to filling financial gaps as they occur? I got to say it that way. Like, I just want to know, like, because I hear you've heard it, I've heard it all sorts of ways. And let me give you a precursor. One of the most common ways I've heard it, Adam, is well, if he's getting some, then if I ask him for anything, if he needs to be able to step up and do X, Y, Z because he's getting some. And that always puts me in a funny position. Because I always look at it like this. I don't know how this came down the pike this way, Adam. But why, to me, sometimes, and ladies, you all keep me honest, and please feel free to chime in. But it seems like when it comes to the exchange, when things get to the point of an exchange intimately, if that's what you choose to do, not saying do it, if that's what happens, why is it that it comes across like, well, I gave you some, so you should be amenable to these things because I'm giving you some? To me, that alludes, she doesn't really need it, but I'm doing this because I know you're a man and you have those kinds of needs. Now, I know that not to be true. I know women have those needs, right? But it comes across like it's always like, well, you got this, so you should be able to be amenable to giving that. So that's why I'm just trying to understand, where does that come from and how true is that, ladies? If y'all, go ahead. What you think, Adam?
Oh, Lord have mercy. So basically you're asking whether or not, if women feel as though men should be filling in the gap financially if certain things have happened within their I guess situation or relationship, right? That's what you're asking.
Yeah, but and also keeping in mind, even if it didn't, right? Even if it didn't, but I'm your person, right? I'm your person, and I should be good. You should look out for me. I should be like, I know I got my own job. I know I got a car note and all those things, but you should be able to look out for me if I need it, right? If I need you. So we're gonna walk them. I'm gonna take you where I'm taking this, but we're gonna walk it slow. But go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know if I necessarily Lord, I want to be good with this. I don't necessarily agree with that, right? Because if that's the case, then I think Stephanie's kind of hit it on the head. It's like pay or play. Uh, that situation becomes less relational and more
Mm,
transactional.
mm,
Whereas it's almost as if I don't want to say it like that. We're only talking about an exchange of services at this
mm.
point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do this and I do that. Quid quo pro for the most part, right?
Wow.
I scratch your back, you
You
scratch
scratch
mine.
mine. Wow.
I don't really think that is. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I know that it does happen, but that is not the best condition in terms of having a relationship, a strong relationship, a healthy relationship, a relationship that is viable.
Mm,
I think that makes it. Honestly, that puts it in a very toxic kind of situation where you can only get this if you give me that.
mm.
And I don't think I yeah, I don't that's not good. That's not good to approach it like that. And again, I know people approach it like that. I know
Yeah.
people do, but
Yeah.
if you're looking for a good relationship, that's not going to work for you. And I know
Wow.
for me personally, that would not work for me.
Wow.
That's not something that you um yeah, I don't because now
Oh,
now I'm gonna say it like this,
good.
Charles. And again, it's probably gonna rub people along the wrong way a little bit. But
Yeah.
again in terms of it being transactional, now we're kind of like equating it or conflating it rather with prostitution to some degree, right?
Wow.
Because it's an exchanging of goods or services
Mm,
for some type of fee or exchange between the both of us. So this has nothing to do with love and how I'm feeling and care about you as
mhm.
much as it does, oh, I'm going to do this if you do that. It's it's
Yeah.
it's more conditional. It's a conditional thing versus it
Mm,
being something that's relational. And
yeah.
again, those relationships they don't last a long time
Mm.
at all.
Dang.
So,
Sister Danielle is testifying in church. She's,
okay.
she's doing, how you say, "Lu, lu, lu, lu," that's what she's doing in the figurative. She's like, that was me, Jesus. No, I'm just kidding. They are.
Right, right, right,
No,
right,
but
right,
anyway,
right.
so okay. This is where we turn the corner, kind of like with the whole show thing when we're talking about the husband, like the husband, he's acting like the husband, but he's boyfriend in label, right? So if you think about it,
Mm,
a husband, when that part of the relationship happens and the marriage happens, the man is absolutely at this point. If he's saying he's going to lead his house, he's going to be a covering. I'm going to be a provider. Not saying that he necessarily. I know in this time things are different. Like it's not the 40s and 50s, right? Where the man he just go to the Ford plant, the lady just sit home and water flowers and come home and everything was fine. Nowadays, the man coming home and
mhm,
say, "You got your half? All right." No, this anyway. But the point I'm making is this. Um, I do feel like there's an unspoken expectation when we are in relationships to experience husbandry before you are actually my husband.
mm,
And I know women may say, "Well, y'all do it too. Y'all want us to cook and clean, and again that sex thing is going to come out, and we giving you this, right?" So it's kind of
mm,
like that whole give and take thing. But this is how I used to think about this years ago. I knew people when we would have these relationship conversations, or people I knew. And I remember even as far back as like in school, high school or college, you would hear conversations and you would hear women talking about, like back then in those late 80s and 90s, that was like the drug era, like all the drug dealing and hustling was real big. So
right.
it was nothing to hear a conversation where some people are corralling and you'll hear women talking about men. And then I'm gonna use you. And they was like, "It's cool girl. Is she talking to Adam? Girl, listen, tell her she good if she talking to Adam. Because listen, he always makes sure his women are his women are good. You're gonna get your nails done, your hair done, he's gonna take you on trips. He might even buy you a car. So the point I'm making, this is how I used to think about this.
Wow.
If we as men and women are the perfect spouse to our partner, the perfect spouse-like person to our people before we are actually spouse, what does the actual spouse get? Like if I treated every woman I knew so, oh my God, I don't have to think about nothing. I treated you like I'm you the bride, right? This is the bridegroom. I got you, and you my woman, but you're not my wife. But I'm doing all of these amazing things for you to the point where I'm emotionally spent, and God forbid something happens, relationship tears, you about to go jump off the cliff. So if you let yourself go that much for someone, what do we leave for our actual spouse?
Okay, the spouse. Okay, I think I understand that.
I think your ultimate repository of love is for your spouse. Yes, we can navigate through this world. Yes, we can do this, and we can be kind, and we can show you glimmers of the kind of person we are. But I think we need to be careful how we go, and we go so hard in the paint. And I'm gonna tell you how you know you go too far in the paint as a girlfriend or boyfriend, because you begin to feel deep resentment throughout the relationship. Because as a wife, you're thinking, if I'm doing this for my husband, oh, he's taking care of us. We are good. We are family. We are a unit. We are reciprocal. He go to work. I do my part, and we are wonderful. So that stress about recompense isn't there. But when you are single, but you're doing husband-like stuff or wife-like stuff, now it's like, I'm not seeing the payout. This isn't happening. That isn't coming. I don't know when this is. You asking for too much of me. And then when people break up, we see all of these explosions like we see all across the internet and everywhere else, where people almost want to just kill you where you stand as a boyfriend or girlfriend when you leave them. Not to forget about the husband,
right?
But as a boyfriend and a girlfriend, I want to end you because you left me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a sign of us. We're giving too much in the wrong context. Like save something for what you ultimately desire. Because if we're honest, people can say, oh, it's in the dating pool and it's bad out here on the street, but that still doesn't stop them from wanting a spouse. Everybody still wants somebody to see about them, care about them, love me a certain way, make sure I'm good and all those things. And so if you're going to do that, think to yourself, as golden as I think my heart may be, and a good woman that I am, or a good man that I think I am, if you think about it in reverse, as a married man, you don't want to have a wife and then have all of these wife-like concubines that you treat like your wife in a way. And I say in a way because the wife is usually at the permanent residence. The wife-likeys are in temporary situations. I got a little
temporary housing
over there. I get you a one studio. I got you. Don't worry, I'm gonna pay your car note. All these things. Listen, I do see why the women go crazy, because it's like, you're gonna take the house money for the concubines. But anyway, the point I'm saying is this: we get ourselves in these situations, and I say to myself, like, man, we get, when you step back and really look at it, we doing, like they say today, we doing too much as dating, woman, man, whatever. But at the end of the day, this is one point I'm going to throw out there, and I'm going to toss it over to you, Adam, because this is going to be your era of the show. All right.
Oh, Lord.
Now, the Bible, Adam.
Oh,
I'm going somewhere with this. All right.
Oh, God.
This is the whole point of this whole thing.
Oh, Lord.
The Bible talks about how, if we go back to Adam and Eve, how he made Adam a help meet.
Mm-hmm.
And he made him that so that he wouldn't be alone and that he can navigate life with his partner, right?
Okay.
This is the thing. And this is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I feel there are so many L's being taken in relationships, they're not reaching the marks that people are expecting them to. I wish this was this, and how come this is not this and that and the other? We have to stop and think. And we just talk about the man to the woman dynamic in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman should desire to be seen as a help.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Help is not just financially.
Right.
I gotta repeat, help it, because we always think that when we think help me, we're thinking a partner that's going to come over there and be able to pay the same thing I pay, be paid, be a boss chick. We don't mean that. I mean, yes, resources are important. Make no mistake.
Right.
Resources are important, and if you are fortunate to have that as well, great.
Mm-hmm.
But a help could be this, Adam. I got bad credit, but I make the money.
Mm-hmm.
She has great credit, but she don't make much money.
Right.
But it's a help.
Right. Okay.
Help to a man also is, wow, it's amazing how she knows how to masterfully disagree with me and we resolve it without it being drama and toxicity.
Right.
That's a help because it's not common that people can really manage their emotions when they're upset. And that ain't even a slight. That's just the truth. A lot of people are not good under fire. When fire hits people, they're like, you know what? They go, how you can? Oh, there you go. Oh, that's coming. So the point is, you got that. So I'm saying that to say, like I said, help can be from the lady that has the credit, the lady that has the resources, the lady that's resourceful in her spirit, the lady that knows how to pray for him,
right?
The lady that knows how to adjust his destiny because she's a filter. She protects him. So the point I'm saying is, if the idea is, if you wonder what's happening in your life and wondering why am I not advancing, and I'm not saying this is every scenario. I'm not saying that by chance. But what I am saying, I think every woman, and don't think about me or Adam telling you this, just hear it in your ears. Yeah. I'm just saying, ask yourself, ask God. Like, first ask God to prepare you to reflect a help, right? To reflect that of a help. But then ask yourself, am I moving in life as a help or a hindrance? Because you got to understand this. Men will play with you for seasons if they don't see you as a help. Because you know why? As offensive as this may sound, Adam.
Oh, he about to go.
The help part is your responsibility. Men aren't going to tell you that you're not helpful, because the helpful part is for you to develop. I mean, come on, let's just be honest. The helpful part is for the woman to develop. I can't develop the help in you.
Right.
It's either something that God gives you or you don't have. Or and it's not that you can't, but it just hasn't been developed. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Not everybody has developed the spirit of help.
Right.
But the spirit of help is amazing once you get there. And it's okay. I'm just trying to get people to understand this isn't an indictment. I'm just bringing to your attention that the best way to show up in any relationship is of a help. And again, help for everyone looks different. Everyone's help doesn't look, because just like every man sees help differently.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Guess what?
Yeah.
No, but you're not going to find a man that don't want it.
Right.
He may see it differently, but that doesn't mean he excuses it.
Right.
He wants it. And so the point is, some men can see a woman and she could be amazing in all these ways. She could even look amazing, all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But in his mind, when he's looking, he's like, I don't quite see H-E-L-P. I see H-E and just need some development with the LP. I see H-E though. And the reason he hasn't progressed the LP part, Adam, is because he knows his mind. Yes, I can love this woman. And yes, I can be with her and do all of these things.
Gonna help me.
But I also know without the absence of help, it's going to be a rough ride for me.
Okay.
I already got to lead. I already got to be the provider. I already got to do these things. So this woman that's supposed to be for me in my life, she should show up in a way that it is so impactful that people around you will be like, who did that for you? You being real different. Or this is that Adam, what is, and it's what I'm saying is your woman that's for you is your reflection in the mirror. It's supposed to reflect your life. It shouldn't be someone just standing there and you don't see no kind of reflection nowhere, no resemblance of who Adam is or where Adam is going, or how it's going to develop Adam. None of those things are, when those things are absent, it's just like, golly, like it's supposed to be a mirror. And I think, I had this aha moment, Adam, but I think about these things. I kept noodling on this help concept because when you look online and you listen everywhere else, it's like the men probably, some men probably get so depressed at them, they try to go home and cry. Because today,
not go home and cry.
The way the world is constructed today, if you are not a professional athlete, if you are not a supreme business owner, if you're not an actor or some popular person, that's visible and on TV, you're not seen as alpha.
Yeah.
You're not seen as desired. You're seeing, the women, I'm not saying all the women here, just not every woman, but a lot of women are attracted to means. They're attracted to the men of means and stature. So they're like, oh my God, I would wonder what it would be like to be with that Stephon Diggs. I know he a little toxic, but he got some money. He could dress too, whatever. The point is, in their mind, that you hear all these bad things, but guess what? He still got money and he still got swag. So he's still women. It don't matter because of where he's situated, he's still attracted and desired. Regardless how you look at it. So my point is, we have to say to ourselves, there are men who are great men, Adam, but guess what? They work 9 to 5. They want love. They want to love the woman, but at the same time, they don't have, because they are limited in their finances. Is it their fault? They don't have it. Like they can aspire to want more and to do this, but right now, I work. I work down the street. I just started selling cars. I had a little record one time, but I turned it around, got myself together, and now I'm doing this. I'm just using an example. So the point I'm making, a person you got to understand the way this world is set up. Not everybody has money to see about themselves, see about their bills, and your surplus.
Right.
Because it's a lot that comes with that. Because if you want me to be honest, let's take it back to the 80s and 90s and the drug dealer era. If you're going to really be taking care of the woman, you not really letting her do much of anything. You paying her car, you getting her car, watch you getting her car, her oil change, you buying her gear, her clothes, her earrings, her this, you paying for her house. If she's not already living with you, you paying for everything. But that was an era where the men had really they had an illegal level of money.
I was going to say, most of those were drug deals.
Here's the deception of that, Adam, because there is a whole capture era of women who were affected by that. And because of that, maybe they were with the kingpin, or I was with this guy. And what that has done it's corrupted their brain for normalcy. Because it was like, yeah, the drug dealer had the good heart. It still was his money, whether it was illegal or not. It still was his money, right? He was still doing for you. He was still being generous. But the source of it was unrealistic. Not every man out here is a drug dealer or a millionaire or beyond. So when you get back into society, normally, now here comes the guy, he's sure looking like, will you please? So lame. So the point I'm making is this. So it's like you're not used to that world. So the guy that comes normally to you, he's not attractive because he's not that edgy person that you're used to. Okay. So the point I'm just trying to get to, I'm not one on the soapbox. But anyway, the point I'm just
making, you own it. You own it.
The point I'm just trying to say is this. We have to say to ourselves, when do I look at myself in the mirror and say, it's okay. It's okay if my guy wants to help me, sees a need, and does it on his own. Because truth be told, if he really loving you, if he sees it, he will plug the hole.
Okay.
But don't expect nobody to plug no hole just because other stuff is being plugged. Anyway, so the point I'm saying is this. Listen, we are grown. I say this all the time, Adam. We grown. We're responsible for our own lives. Quickly. By no means am I meaning when things happen, because things happen in life. People lose their job. There's unfortunate circumstances where you could use a lien or two from the person you're with. That's different than somebody incorporating you and your money into their expenses. That's a whole different story. Helping a brother or sister out is different from, you got it, don't you? Well, these are my expenses. Have at it. That's different, right? And so, again, if a man wants to do that, let him liberally do that without you asking. And then, listen, you even got to be careful with that, because people don't do things for nothing. A lot of people don't just give you their money for nothing. They give it for an exchange of a reciprocity of one or another. They want you to act a certain way. They want you to listen to them, be controlled. I'm doing this for you, Anna. Give me them keys to that car back. You be with a man that's super generous and then do what you want to do. You'll find out what you're dealing with. He gonna tell you, give his clothes back, give him his car back, give him the keys to the place he got for you back, if you don't do what he tells you to do. So you got to be careful. All good treatment is not worth it. Especially if it comes with strings. You got to know strings with this or just from your heart. Because if you come in with the strings, I don't want it. So go ahead. I'll take a break at this point. Good.
Are you tired? You need a drink of water? You want me to get you some water? You need some orange juice or something?
All right, good.
Okay, listen real quick. I'm not even going to be that long. Real quick, two things. So it seems to me that nowadays, when it comes to the whole dating field, dating situation, or even just a freshly minted relationship, I think we have a tendency to act prematurely. What do I mean by that? I mean that we put labels on one another before it's time. We act in a way that kind of puts us in a place that we are not really prepared for. And when you put a label on someone, for example, husband, you unfortunately set a level of expectation that is premature.
Yeah.
Because he's not your husband and she's not your wife.
Wow.
You're doing it prematurely. You're acting before you're actually ready for that particular level. Now, if you're doing that, you're going to end up with a lot of difficulties and hardship, because again, you're doing it prematurely. This relationship, the way that it is right now, is not set for a husband and a wife. Right now, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. We are dating. We are spending time with each other. We're getting to know one another, right?
Yeah.
And in terms of us dating one another, this is the preamble to us being able to identify whether or not somebody is a potentially good spouse or person to spend the rest of my life with. I'm doing my investigation in the dating part. I'm doing my vetting in the dating part. I'm asking questions. I'm interrogating to some degree to find out whether or not this person who I have an interest in, who I am attracted to, I'm finding out whether or not they will make a good husband or if they will make a good wife.
Yeah.
But again, to put that label on them is premature. And unfortunately, Charles, a lot of us find or have found ourselves in situations where we are, for lack of a better term, we're playing house.
Wow.
We're pretending. Oh, we're pretending that she's my wifey and we're my boo, and we're pretending that he's gonna make a good husband. So we're playing house. You know how when you were younger, you would play that game house, and the wife and the husband and the children and whatever like that. And now we didn't. It seems to me that we haven't stopped playing that game as adults.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. The problem is playing that game has real life consequences. Real life consequences to a game that you're playing. Hey, do yourself a favor. Slow your roll. Slow down the process. Take it one day at a time. Reset and recalibrate your dating practices with this particular person so that you're not doing something prematurely. Because I guarantee you, if it's premature, it's not ready. That's like putting a cake in the oven that's supposed to be in the oven for like 45 minutes and you pull it out 30 minutes prior.
Yeah.
That cake is not ready to be consumed. It's not edible.
Wow.
So you're doing it and acting in a premature way. That's not the way you're supposed to do this. Wow. That's not, and a lot of us have found ourselves in premature playing house situations, and we are still suffering the consequences of those things.
Wow.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
So
now let me say that I just want to address the whole help thing. When you were talking about the whole help in terms of whether a woman is helpful, I think that's important to think about, right? Yeah. Because a lot of times when you particularly as men, we kind of, if we're not careful, we'll get swept away with the looks and the sounds and the smells of a good woman. We get swept away with those things, right?
Yeah.
And it's not until a little later that we begin to properly assess her assets. And when I'm talking about assets, I'm not talking about her lips, hips, and fingertips.
Wow.
I'm talking about what she actually brings to the table.
Yeah.
Sometimes what she brings to the table, it actually subtracts.
Don't cut it. Yeah, don't cut it.
It actually diminishes what's on the table.
Wow.
Because what she brings to the table is not a positive outcome. Wow. And it seems like she would be more trouble than she would be helpful.
Wow.
And so if we're not careful, we end up, if men are honest, you end up with who you end up with based on how they look.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you really did not assess them for who you wanted them to be, and that was a potential wife.
Wow.
And so you're ending up, you're going, And so now you're looking for an escape. You're looking for an escape route. You're looking for the exits. You're trying to figure out and find out how fast and how quick can I get out of this particular situation because you didn't properly assess them. And women, you ought to be doing the same thing with the men. Yeah. You ended up with a situation where he didn't have a job when you met him. That should have been your first flag. He didn't have a job when you met him. As a matter of fact, my brother was still living with his mom.
Wow.
But you thought that he would be a good project to work on. Oh, he might possibly make a good husband if he just had this.
Yeah.
But he should have already had this before you got with him.
Wow.
Again, proper assessment of the potential. If you're not properly assessing them in terms of dating them and talking to them and having conversations with them and asking them questions, then you're going to end up in a situation that kind of makes you go, oh, yeah. You're going to be trying to get out.
Wow. So I'm gonna go back, and I saw these comments were coming through while you were talking, but Daisha made an interesting comment, and I wanted to touch on it because I guess she was kind of responding back to what I was talking about, men plugging the hole, right? Like when he sees that lack of something. She says, "How long should a woman wait for men to plug the hole, or for a man to plug the hole?" So this is what I would say to that. It's two answers to that.
Okay.
Did the man help you dig the hole? Meaning, did you co-sign for somebody? Did he help with the bill? I'm just making a point. Was he a part of the reason of the debt? Right. If he's not, it's your hole to plug. If he's not, it's your hole to plug. It's now, if the man chooses to say, hey, you need a little help, I help you. Fine. But it's not his responsibility because he's dating you. That's what we got to make that clear. It's not just because, like, dating somebody is not a subscription, like a service. This is Amazon and Prime Video and Netflix because we date, although it probably feels like it, but it's not. It's not a subscription. We have got to a point now where we're treating you having your time with me like this is, you got to pay your subscription fee.
Wow.
All of these things that come with me, you pay. But let me tell you something I've learned a long time ago, Adam. Please don't throw rocks at the screen, but this is the truth. And this is something men of the world have to be smart enough to figure out. Because a lot of times, when it comes to dating, this is why women a lot of times will say it's piss in the pool. Because think about it like this. Most of the times, if men are having their way with it, they playing. They playing probably more than the women. I'm not saying women don't play, but women will probably be more apt to be like, "Oh, we're gonna be for real in love," and they want that. Men will be like, "I'm gonna smash over there, whatever." Men will do that. Now, the point I was gonna say though, when it comes to a man deciding who his help is, or who he's thinking his help is when he's dating them, you got to understand, this is why I talk about that part about people standing on their own and appearing as, or not appearing, but being a help. Looking as your life should mirror you being a help before you are helpful to him, right? The point I'm making when I say that is a woman, I must live in the hood. Anyway, so a woman that is, listen, a woman in need and a woman that's full are two different experiences in relationship. When a woman she ain't got to have it all, but she's content. She pays her bills. She's not necessarily behind. She's consistent. She's good with her money. She handles this, that, and the other. Yes. Would she like it to feel like a man is maybe doing something sometime that she doesn't have to do? Yes. But the difference is, the scary part about dating a woman that's in need is you never know what happens when she's full. When she's full, you may not look attractive anymore to her. A lot of people look attractive when they're hungry. How many times have we been hungry, Adam, and you stop somewhere that's not your ideal place? Because you may say, is that a Whole Foods? Okay, I'll go to Aldi's because I'm hungry to get them wings they got. But that's not your preference.
Right.
You're only going to Aldi because you are hungry. So my point is, men have to worry about saying, am I choosing a hungry woman or a full woman? A full woman is going to give you who she
Different
is,
experience.
she's either going to like you for real, authentically, and say,
Right.
"You're crazy, Adam." Because a fool woman, guess what? The thing about a fool woman, you may think you full, but she sees your cup half empty, but she's willing to still take a chance on you.
Okay.
When a woman is full, right? Because she got her thing. She's consistent. She know what's happening. She's already in her flow.
Yeah.
But when a woman is hungry, men play the role of let me bring you up to speed. But you guess what? You can't bring everybody up to speed because everybody up to speed don't appreciate you. And when you bring them up to speed, they're gonna show you the back of them and some real speed and $100 meter dash right out of your life. So the point I'm saying is this: people are more level-headed when they're not scraping the barrel. When you're scraping the barrel, you're not level-headed. You're gonna sleep with the man that you really don't like, that you're really not attracted to. He's really not your style. I'm gonna try something new. No, you just redefining your pockets.
Right.
So we got to be honest about how we are approaching this. And so nobody wants to be played in this era of life. People work hard for their money. So if a person is not going to be there for legitimate reasons, then your deficit is your deficit. I don't want to make it sound cruel, but somebody just like me, Adam, my bills are my bills. I can't expect you to come and say, Charles, I seen your mail today. Here, take this $2,000 and please pay that credit card off. We're not going to be doing that in this house. We're not going to ever hear that, Adam. But anyway, the point is this, though.
Right.
But you'll hear it when a woman will ask a man if she's in a spot. Women will ask. I mean, that's just a thing. Women like to feel like the guy will step in and I can have security with him. Nothing wrong with that. But don't trust security with a partner that's not your husband. That's the ultimate security.
Yeah.
He's not your husband. It's just smoking mirrors.
Yeah.
He's there for the moment because he likes you. But if he get real tired of you, he ain't going to be there. Period, point blank. So my point is, so you got to make your own strong front. That's the only point I'm trying to make. I'm just trying to say, do all that you can for yourself to become a help. If you're not, do that. Don't be careful about connecting with someone while you're in need. Because when you're in need, you get the scraps. You're not going to get what you deserve. People give people that make the necessary adjustments and noise the most attention than the one who is who they already see that the person done bowed down and I'm in need. I need help with this. That ain't attractive. I'm just going to be honest. That's not attractive to hear.
It's not.
It's not for no. I don't care if no man say how fine you are, thick you are. It's not attractive to look at something as a liability rather than a blessing.
You know what, Charles? Let me say this real quick. I think part of that is because if at the dating phase of our relationship, you are in need and I have to always feel that need, then that portends for the future.
Yeah.
If we were to get married, that you'll always be in need and I'll always have to feel that need.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you're, because, past behavior is a clear indication of future behavior.
Yeah.
So if you walk into the situation and the possible dating relationship that we have with your hand out and a cup in your hand, always asking for this, then that's going to at least lead me to believe that that's always going to happen in the future as we go along. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that, again, you got to pay attention to stuff like that. If you're asking now, that means you're going to ask later because now you feel comfortable enough to ask me and we're only dating and we barely know each other.
Right.
A couple weeks down the line, couple months, a year or two or 3 or 4 down the line, you're still asking.
Wow. Wow.
So when do you ever have Charles, when do you ever become full?
Wow.
If you're always hungry And you're always asking, when do you ever become full with what you have? You know what I'm saying? And full,
Wow.
I see full being a level of contentment that says, I don't need outside stuff to satisfy me.
Wow.
Before you met me, I was satisfied.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes if we're not careful, we run into people who are always thirsty and always hungry. They're never satisfied because they're not consuming the right things. They're consuming things that don't really satisfy, that don't make them full. For example, if you drink a whole lot of soda, I guarantee you're going to be thirsty 30 minutes down the line.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we're consuming things that aren't really satisfying or making us full in our lives in terms of doing what we need to do for us, for our own selves.
Wow.
So, and this is why we end up having to ask. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. In terms of if you're, if you need to have, if you don't have, okay, all right. But if the first thing you say out of your mouth, and I've only dated you 3 times, and you asking, come on, help me, somebody help me. I'm just saying. Here's the thing, though, Charles, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let this go. I think what has happened is because we are as thirsty as we are, and y'all know what thirsty is. Y'all know, y'all grown. Y'all know what thirst. Because we are as thirsty and because we are as hungry as we are allowing that thirst and that hunger to drive us into places that we shouldn't go. If we're allowing that thirst and that hunger to take us into places that won't satisfy. Lord have mercy.
That's it. Wow.
We're allowing that thirst and that hunger to put us in situations that is going to make us even more hungry and more thirsty because what we're going after really can't satisfy us. That's why we end up picking the people that we pick because it's driven by hunger and thirst.
Wow.
But if you get real contentment, I feel my help right here. But if you get real contentment and real satisfaction, your hunger and your thirst ain't going to drive you to make dumb mistakes and dumb choices.
Wow.
Just saying. I'm just saying, yo.
Here's another part of it, though, Adam, is when you, that was interesting when you said it's okay in the beginning, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the help request, right? Okay. It happens. Heck, men get in situations where they need it. Okay, fine. Yeah. But what my brain thought when you said 3, 4, and 5, I mean 3 years later, and you still you know what that means? And I'm going back to the this ain't for Daisha, but I'm going back to her comments. She was talking about plugging the holes. That tells me you haven't plugged the holes in your life.
Ooh,
and you're leaking. You have been leaking over the years because you haven't addressed the things that keep you at the point of lack. Sometimes we stay at the point of lack because we're too stubborn to do the work to evolve. It's nobody's job to fix your life but you. We can help. Anybody can help you and do whatever they do, and things happen or whatever. We get in, we all get into bad spots in our life, right? That we can't find our way out of. We trying to rob Peter to pay Paul fine. But that's a soul salvation. You know that scripture about work out your own soul salvation. Yeah. That is an instance of you working out your self salvation. You having to do those things. Time out for guilting people that are interested in you into being your bank because you give them your time. You can't. Nobody's paying for your time because you fine. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you having these problems and you don't really feel like tolerate nobody that's in your ear unless this person is going to be paying all this money to be there. You understand what I'm saying? So, I get it. People need it sometime and all these things. She said, Daniel said you on the rap.
I want to rap real quick.
So all those kind of things, man. But yeah, I mean, this is thing.
But let's go a little further than that. In terms of that hole, because that hole analogy is really, really good. Because if you have a bucket and you're trying to get some water in that bucket and you got a hole in that bucket, that water's going to flow out.
Yeah,
it'll barely make it to the place where you're going because all the while, as you travel from the well back to the house, that hole in that bucket constantly drains the water out. So by the time you get back to the house, that bucket is empty. So here's the thing, right? And I think I want you to kind of think about this. And I'm not saying that people do it. I'm sure people have, or maybe not even thought about it like this. I think sometimes we are in pursuit of relationships, in pursuit of a companion, because we feel as though that husband or that wife will plug the hole that we have. The husband and the wife, their purpose is not to plug that hole. Wow. They are not. If there is something lacking in your life in that regard, a husband or a wife is not going to plug that hole. You need to seriously consider, okay, why is this hole here? How did this hole get here? How long has this hole been here? And what can I do? What do I need to do to address this hole?
Yeah, that's it.
So that I can be a whole person.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Wow. Because I think sometimes we're doing some things in an effort to address some issues that we don't necessarily know how to address.
Wow.
And trying to use somebody in a premature way to plug that hole is not the best way to address that situation. Wow. I'm just saying. And you know, we need to do the work on ourselves. And listen, everybody, I'm not just talking about Jesus, and I am talking about Jesus. Don't get it wrong. I am. But there are other things that we need to do to address us in terms of who we are, the entirety of who we are as people. We need to address some mental health issues. We need to address some emotional health issues. We need to address some financial things. We need to address some habits that we have and some propensities that we have. We need to address some appetites that we have. And it's not until we begin to work on ourselves, addressing the things that we don't necessarily want to address, that we're going to become the people that we need to become so that we can have the people in our lives that we need to have. I think we've said this before, but I think it bears repeating at this point in time. And that is the fact that when you're dealing with a person who is hungry and thirsty and broken, they operate differently than a whole person does, a person who is healed, a person who is healthy. You're going to get a different experience from them, you know? And I think that's something, again, you got to be aware, because again, if you're not whole, then how do you know how to operate? How do you know how to converse with a person who is whole? A person who is whole and a person who's not whole have different conversations, completely, entirely different conversations. They have different outlooks on life. They function and they move differently. Wow. You know? Wow. Just saying.
I mean, I would say this to piggyback on that. Stop looking for a savior and simply be saved.
Wow.
When a person is saved, lack looks different because lack is backed up with faith, right? And you're girding yourself up to look at life differently. So you don't look at life the same. You look at lack as a temporary pass through. It's not the end thing. So my thing is, we're so busy waiting for someone to show up to illuminate and redefine our existence, upgrade our life, do this, be a knight in shining armor. Being saved yourself, you are your own knight, right? And the person, what that makes you that much more attractive, because the person see, oh, this person is doing work on themselves. They're not just waiting for me.
Yeah.
They're not just waiting for me or someone to come do something, because again, I think we forget the narrative of this, Adam. Yes, the goal is I do for some. I'm not saying everybody today, everybody's goal isn't I do, but right. But when you say I do, I think we forget that men want to be happy too.
Oh,
We
how about that?
downplay that. We downplay the fact that you don't think men want to look at that woman coming down the aisle. That's when you see them men be crying about to fall over the floor
Right,
or
right,
whatever the
right.
point is. I know that's just a celebration, but what I'm saying is, after the fact, he wants to say, "Man, this was the best investment of my life."
Mm,
Period. I made the
okay.
best choice
Best
to do
decision.
this.
Yeah.
You don't want to just turn into you the husband all of a sudden, soon as the wedding gets over. Yeah, you know, we got to do this next weekend. We got to pay that. And we got to do this. And man, like an auction, you like, God, what is going
Can I
on?
catch a breath?
Because I'm telling you, we're living in a time where time out for expending a lot of unnecessary energy. Life is hard, and mental health is a thing that's in the forefront of everything. And it's so easy for everybody to teeter over the line and almost lose it and almost do this and have a nervous breakdown, all because of the way you see life. You don't feel like your life is lit, or you don't feel like you can be this way to a man or a woman. Forget all of that. Be content in yourself first. And then that will illuminate anything about you first before you go wait for somebody else to turn the lights of your life on.
Yeah, real talk. You know what? Dr. Trisha said something. I want to talk about it real quick. She said, "Being whole."
Which one is this?
Dr. Trisha.
Oh, being whole.
Being whole doesn't mean perfection. She's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Being whole does not mean perfection. You know what it means? It means that when you meet me, I'm not bleeding on you.
Wow. Say it again.
I said, when you meet me, I'm not bleeding on you. That's what being whole means. That's why broken people can be identified. They have a different conversation.
Yeah.
Their conversation is, okay, so can somebody help me fix this bleeding? That's their conversation.
Wow.
Versus a whole person, that's not part of their vocabulary. You know why? Because they're whole.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that they are perfect.
Yeah.
But they're not bleeding.
Wow. Yeah. Because
it makes a big difference.
Because there is a stress associated with checking your gauzes to see if the blood has overfilled.
Right. Yeah.
And I need to change it.
Have you been bandaged?
Yes. And it's something that psychologically, when you are leaking, you're not at your best.
You're not.
Because there's a part of me that's gaping.
Right.
So you're just like, I need for this to be, I don't have to be perfect, but I do want that to be sealed off.
Yeah.
Right. Think about it when we get stuff done at our houses and people will come on, like they'll say something about that pipe is busted. And you ever hear that plumber say, well, I can't get to the store tonight to get you that new pipe, but I can spray some of this stuff over there and I can put this over there. It will stop the leaking. People will go ahead on and do it because nobody wants to experience the leak. Because guess what? When you're leaking at home and the water is getting there, more damage is coming. From other things, rodents, molding, all sorts of things come when you're leaking. So when you're leaking in your life, other things come and compound the gaping hole and make it worse. So if nothing else, the thing of the hour is to patch up the leak.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. Patch that thing up so it's not leaking no more. So you're not leaking on other people. You
know,
they got blood all on them. They trying to figure out, well, I'm not bleeding. Where did this blood come from?
Look over there, the patch and see like this. Is you?
Looking at you. you losing pressure. You fading in and out of consciousness because you losing blood pressure.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Just go to the hospital and get healed. That's all we're saying.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, and everybody needs to do that. Listen, man, I want to just circle this one point because I don't want people to take away from this to say, oh, why is it always we got to be these way for the men and all this. That wasn't the point I was trying to make.
Not at all.
Because men have their own set of several problems, right? But the point, I was just clarifying the one part that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
And it's not that, don't ever misunderstand a man's conduct to think, oh, he for the streets, he playing, he so-and-so. Even the man from the streets recognize help when he sees it.
Oh yeah.
All men know what help looks like to their life. And they will respond accordingly to help. When they don't respond, say to yourself, am I part of the problem? Am I a part of this reason that I'm not seen as help? Because sometimes we can be complicit. We could actually be helpful women, but we can be complicit with ill behavior.
True.
Think about this. How many times have you been bored in life and somebody introduced something that's not of your lifestyle?
Okay.
And I'm going somewhere with this. Nowadays, Adam, people will, if it's not drugs, if it's not a certain experience, the most popular thing is, we're supposed to be, how you ambidextrous with both of your hands? That's how we should be with our sex life. Don't be closeted to the one side. I'm just making all these things up. So everybody got all these sexual ideas.
Right.
Now think about it. You could have came into the situation a good woman, helpful, all these things. But the minute you allow him to finesse you to be bad, you're not looked at as helpful anymore. You become aiding and abetting. You're aiding me now. Okay. You're supposed to be helpful. Helpful means no, sir. I'm sorry. Let him walk off and think about his thoughts as to why he asked you that. But when you say, you know what, I never did that. I always been curious, though. Now he's like, oh, you're not helpful as I thought. That's just what it is. You got to look at it like that. So at all times, that's why I said, if nothing else you got out of this show, it is your responsibility to show up as help. And help does not mean financial entirely, although it is important, but it's not entirely. Help to every man looks different, but help has a range. As long as you fit into that range of help, that's all that matters. Just don't be the hindrance, be the help.
Be the help.
Hindrance is stress. Don't stress people out about things, especially about things that's not that. How much audacity do we have to put guilt on somebody because they're not doing something that you did in your life?
Right.
You want to make somebody that's not your husband be stressed about something that belongs to you?
Right.
That's ungrateful.
That's not a good
I'm not saying that a person can't be like, look, if you care about a person, you don't want to see nobody down bad. No. So you will do what you need to do, but don't manipulate people to feel like if they're not doing it, or you know what? My sister told me you ain't no real man. That's mental abuse. That has nothing to do with a person being a real man, being a real fool.
Right.
So it's a difference. So we gotta stop playing these games. And again, when people show up in your life and they're willing to do whatever they need to do with you, fine.
Right.
But our lives belong to us as single people. If you're unmarried, your life belongs to you. When you're married, you join together. That's different. We are merging as one. But when you're single, this is your journey. This is my journey. We can assist each other and throw one another lobs along the way. But we trying to get to this place together.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
No, that was good. Yeah. That was good. They're using people, using them for what
we use people,
man. Get them for. It's that's never a good idea. And again, I don't. That is not the best way to approach a relationship, and that is to use people, to manipulate people to get them to do something for you.
Yes.
And when you enter into relationships like that, those relationships aren't gonna last. Yeah. Nobody wants to be used in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's never a good thing. That's never a good thing. It should be something that is equitable between the two of us. We're working together in a synergistic manner. We're cooperating with one another. I'm helping you, you helping me. Because that whole transactional thing is just
that's a beast.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all,
man.
I mean, because now you've all been there, done that, but it's not. It don't play off good, really.
Yeah, because now you've taken all of the feelings and the emotions out of it, if there were any at this point. So you just with me for what you can get from me, but you're not with me for me.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, wow.
Got it.
I heard this morning, and I'll say this. I was listening as I was getting myself together this morning. I was listening to something on TikTok. It was like a talk show, and I heard the lady was really loud on this. She was saying all I heard when I was scrolling, and I stopped when she said, because she was talking about they were talking about transactional dating.
Okay.
And she was saying she was with this guy They had amazing chemistry. And
Mhm.
she said, she was like, yeah, I mean, we would connect. He knew what it was. I knew what it was. We had amazing sex.
Mhm.
And we would just, she said, and that's the way I liked it. I didn't want him. She said, I was glad to see him go. She said, I needed him in the moment, but I was glad to see him go. Because she said, I didn't want to play those head games to make myself think it was something else.
Something else.
Here's the point where it got psycho. Then she says,
not psycho.
But then here's where I thought it was just get crazy. So if in my mind, if you're going to agree to the transaction and be about that life. Okay. Don't say no, all this and I'm feeling all this way. If you're in the transaction, feelings are not on the table. Don't talk about no feelings. You're in the transaction. Okay. So she was saying she's in the transaction. They doing all this, that, and the other. And then she said, and she tried to correct herself. She said, but then when I noticed, I started to feel something. Then she said, I mean, we started to feel something. That's when I left him alone. No, you felt something and you felt the loss of control.
Wow.
See, when we think we can give our bodies away and be in control of our bodies, we good to be fake dismissive because nobody is a robot. If you're human in this flesh, you're going to feel a way.
You're going to feel something.
Whether you do it when that person pull off or not. On the pillow at night like this, but you're going to feel a way. But the point is, when we act like we robots and inhumane, that's unrealistic. Anybody that, especially if you enjoy what you call the chemistry, and if it's really good, who's not going to become attached to something that's really good and right in your eyes? Eventually, it's going to happen every time. If you play with fire, it's going to happen. But she said that she walked away from him and talking about to this day, he still reaches out to her. Come on, man. I'm like, lady. But anyway.
Who's she fronting for, man? Who's she fronting for? We all know it's true.
Yeah, I'm like,
we know what you're really dealing with. Heartbreak. He not around no more like you want him to be, like you used to be or whatever like that. You really wanted something more, but you were afraid to step out there to take the risk in hopes that he would return your feelings. But you never took the chance to find out whether or not this person felt the same way. So you just cut ties, you cut losses, you know what I'm saying? And was like, well, you know, I'm like this. Man, come on, get out of here, bro.
And that's the deception that we face today, Adam, is that people that are in the single world, the issue of the day is relationships, at least authentic ones, are scarce. Fake ones are plentiful. But what's in the forefront are transactions. Every day you can find a transaction. You can go to the bank and the guy might be like, look, man, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I always tell you, Adam, honesty is the new deceit.
Wow.
Right. So here we go. I'm married. I'm gonna be honest with you because I don't want to play no games.
That's what we're doing.
I am married, but I find you awfully attractive, and I would love to take you out. You're looking so nice in them shoes, by the way. Who did your hair? All that psychological love bombing, right?
Come on,
and the point I'm making is just because you are being honest, it's still deceitful. You are married.
Wow.
So it doesn't change the narrative. So the point is, nowadays, we think that if we get into these transactions that we think we can control the outcome. That's where the trick is. And so now the more situational you become, the more distant you are to commitment, true commitment, because you really desire it fake in the back of your mind, but you don't trust it because you're with people that are involved in so many situations. You don't think nobody's going to hold true. The only way you change that narrative is stop subscribing to the situations. They don't work. We are all we doing is just making the inevitable draw out longer and longer, because eventually it's going to come up empty. Because men, I can tell you, can't say for women, but I always say, Adam, somebody was saying something close to it. She was talking about why to buy the cow and get the milk free. But the point
I was actually thinking that earlier. Yeah.
But the point I wanted to say is this: no man will pay for anything that he gets for free.
Absolutely.
He's not going to want to pay for something that somebody else gets for free. That's my point. So my point is, if he's thinking, and I'm not even just talking about necessarily just the sex part of it, but I'm talking about the point that he's saying to himself, if you're willing to be situational with me, forget about my lines and my game, But if you bought it and you're willing to be situational with me, I don't trust that you can be in commitment with me, because you just showed me that you're open to situations. And if you're open to situations, how do I trust that you're going to remain in the commitment when we are together? And don't hit me with well, I'm single. No, because single is a mindset. Single is not just your status of being by yourself. It's a mindset. Are you successfully single, or are you a ratchet single? There's two different ways. Successfully single is I'm keeping me until I want to release myself to move forward. Ratchet single is I'm telling everybody I'm single, but there's a man or woman in my bed every day. You're not single. You're just in relationships with no titles.
Wow.
That's all it is. So we gotta cut it out, man, for real. Yeah. Situations don't work. I don't care what nobody say. It might feel good in there. Look, they feel good and they're very convenient. But it don't work, and almost all the time you end up with somebody's resentful.
Yeah,
it
never works out.
For sure.
It never works out for the person. So yeah, what are you gonna do? So yeah.
Well, on that note, people, we appreciate you guys for tuning in yet another week. We appreciate it. Unique Perspective Love Talk podcast, where we talked about today, basically husband antics, boyfriend truth. But anyway, what we do is yeah, that's pretty much what it was. But yeah, we do want to say to all the mothers out there, Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, y'all.
That aren't mothers, but you stand in like one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Happy Mother's Day, and we definitely will see you guys next week, and we're gonna keep this thing moving. You got anything you want to say forward?
Nah, I'm good, bro.
All right, okay. Peace out, y'all. All right. Last word of the day, Adam.
You know what? I was going to say something. I just remembered. I saw something that somebody had actually posted. I think it was Tanya at the time. She was talking about part of the problem with ending up with the wrong person is that you didn't actually. And I know this is going to come across as very churchy and very Sunday morning, but you didn't ask God His opinion about the person that you're with. And I think
somebody said that in the comments.
Yeah, somebody said it in the comments earlier, and I think that's something that needs to be said. And I know, listen. If you want to make a good decision in your life, definitely ask your Father in heaven. He ain't gonna lead you astray, And here's the thing: it might not necessarily be the answer that you're looking for, but it's the answer that you need.
Wow, that's a good one.
It's not the answer you want. It's not the answer you want. Yeah. It's the answer that you need. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there.
And to piggyback off of my brother, how it's important to know when we were just talking about those situations and decisions that we choose to make while we are single, whether we'd want the help or don't want to be helped, whatever. It's important to know that how you move today is how you often live tomorrow.
True that.
We don't make the changes now. We're going to show up as a wife or husband the same way.
Real talk.
Yeah. No osmosis happens other than you got grace applied to your marriage, right? Because you did the right thing.
Mhm.
But if you don't do the right thing internally, you're going to be that same husband or wife after the fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
all right,
That's
y'all. Peace out.
Peace, y'all. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your families. Peace.